Let's get straight into it. Inner City Hermit going in 3. My thing just fell out. Oh, shit. It doesn't matter. We're going in 3, 2, 1. What is up, Inner City Hermit followers, listeners, people who are tuning in for the first time? It's me, the Inner City Hermit. It's Matsen coming back at you with another solo podcast by myself. And it's one that I've been really, really excited to do. The main reason I've been really excited to do it, I'm always excited to do it, pretty much. I'm always excited to do it. But this one's a good one because, to get straight into it, as I always do my mental health check-in with you guys, and I'm sure hopefully a lot of other people are kind of doing that sort of stuff as well now. This weekend, it doesn't happen often. I'm usually really conscious about how I'm feeling and what to do when I'm not feeling that great and different things. But this weekend, man, this weekend was tough. It was really tough. It wasn't tough. Nothing went on. Nothing. And I think this is the thing that a lot of people kind of struggle with, is that there's nothing that triggered it. Nothing triggers it. So I'll give you the backstory pretty much. So I woke up on Saturday morning, no dramas, nothing wrong. I had a great week. I was eating great food. There was nothing really on. The only thing I could probably think of was the fact that I didn't go to gym. I didn't go to gym at all, and it was not because I was busy, not because I was anything. I literally just couldn't be bothered. I went to gym twice, but that's not really my goal. For me, that's kind of pretty mediocre, which is kind of shitty because I'm still there. I'm still doing my thing. I'm going, as Jocko Willink says, I'm going through the motions, but fuck it, at least I'm there. So so I had a fine day, Saturday, nothing, and then I was not drinking, nothing like that. There was no alcohol involved or anything like that, but there was a feeling, and I have it every so often. Okay, so it's not really. I'm never hiding it, but I just got really, really low, like really down, really, and it was the way. It's hard when you're, and I kind of understand why people are a little bit, I don't want to talk to someone because they don't understand. I get that too. When I'm trying to explain things, so for example, I was trying to explain to Kia how I was feeling, and I couldn't explain how I was feeling because I just felt so shit, and nothing. There was no cause, nothing. It was just, I don't know, something in my brain. But anyway, I was sitting there and I was talking to people, and we were at sort of a social event, and I was talking to people like normal, but I found it really, really hard to kind of take in what the people were saying to me as I was conversating. It was as if you've spoken to someone in a really loud room, and you try really hard to kind of understand what they're saying, and you just can't hear, you can't hear their words properly, or you can't process them. Like, I could hear them, but I couldn't process what was going on, and I just felt like in both my ears was my subconscious just yelling just the worst things you could think about yourself over and over again. And, you try and do things like I kind of went to a quiet space and tried to kind of center myself, and it sucked, man. It sucked so much. Like I was at something that, would usually make, like, I was actually the sober driver at the event. So I was really in a great mood, and I couldn't get away. I couldn't get away from this. When I kind of came to after, I sort of went home, and I literally just broke down in tears. Like I couldn't do anything. It was just, all I heard was just this. It was like almost deafening yelling about, just me in my head saying, you're not good enough. You shouldn't be doing this. Like you don't deserve this. You don't deserve anything. And, in my head, I know I don't think like that. I know I never think like that. And I'm always someone who, Well, for the most part, I really am like, I have a lot of worth and all that sort of stuff, but sometimes, I don't know, something just triggers in my brain, and it sucks, and it really does suck. But I got home, and I literally had to call my mum. I had to reach out to someone who knows me like the back of their hand. So mum was definitely the one, and I literally just cried. I cried on the phone. I said, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening, but I think reaching out for me was massive. Like, just, knowing that I could call, not even knowing that I could call, but just calling someone and letting them know how I felt before I got, I put myself in a rut. So, I got home, and the only way I could explain it, and, for those of you who do go through shit like this, for those of you who don't, or for those of you who probably don't know that I kind of go through this sort of shit every so often, but it's like as if you've ever seen a really dark rain cloud come over really quickly, and it just blurs everything. Like you feel like you can't function, you can't do anything, and it's something that it's terrifying. When I was 18, 19 and this was first starting to happen to me, and I was just starting to sort of catch it, I was so scared. I was like, my brain's broken. I'm fucked. Like I'm fried. I'm just broken. And it was really, it took me so long, and I'm talking years, to kind of talk to people about it. And for some people, they're probably hearing this for the first time and going, holy fuck, I didn't even know. But yeah, so it definitely happens less frequently now. And I think that's because I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to tell people. Well, obviously, I'm literally putting it on YouTube, but I'm not afraid to tell people that I felt shit, and it had nothing to do with anything. Like, no one was mean to me or whatever. No one said anything, nothing like that. My brain just didn't, give me that happiness, that endorphin rush, that whatever it's called. So, yeah, and it was really, really hard. And I woke up on Sunday morning, and I kind of feel like my brain kind of restarted itself. And I felt back to normal. I felt really good. And I was really lucky that I had, I could call my mum, or I could talk to Kia, or I could talk to my brother or dad or anyone. And, I think the main part behind this sort of segment, that mental health check-in is, if there is someone listening to this that has that shit going, and they think that their fucking brain is broken or not, there's nothing broken about your brain. There's nothing. It happens to I'm, for the most part, a really upbeat, happy person. I love my life. I love everything about it. Yet, it still hits me. It still hits me every so often. So, if that is you, and just reach out to someone. Don't hide it. Don't hide it, because it's dark. I've been there, and it sucks, and you feel like you can't get out of it. And, people who don't go through that sort of shit will never understand. And that's okay, because it's got nothing. If you are someone who doesn't get that sort of stuff, just be mindful that it's not you, okay? I think the biggest problem is, and this is coming from me, experienced as a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old who had this, and people thought it was them that were making me sad. It's not you. And I think the best thing that you could do if a friend or someone is going through that sort of shit is literally just being present, just being there. And you don't need to help, but just having someone there is massive. Having Kia with me when I was going through that was huge. Being able to call my mum and just tell her, I'm not sad, but I'm sad. I don't understand. That was massive. So, yeah, like I said, if that's something that you go through, please reach out. Please reach out to someone and help yourself. You don't have to feel scared or embarrassed about it anymore. We're not living in the Stone Age anymore. You don't need to, you're not weak. You're not anything. It sucks. It happens to me. I like to be a tough person, but sometimes I just cry and shit happens. And I try to, especially at school, I try to tell the kids, it happens to everybody. But yeah, so I really wanted to lead on to that because it hasn't happened for a long time, but it did happen, and it really got to me. But at the same time, I got through it, and here I am back again, feeling great. Went to work today. I've got a fucking amazing job. I do amazing things at work. I mean, I can't be happier, but it still happens, and I just need to deal with that. So if that's you, you're not alone. It happens to the best of us. And so like I said, I wanted to make a point of that. But I also wanted to lead on after that. I did mention beforehand that last week I wasn't as conscious about going to the gym and working out. And, when I say going to the gym and stuff like that, that also means like me eating half decent foods. Like I think can't remember what I was eating. Actually, no, I had a pretty good week with food, but sometimes when I get like that, I get down, I fucking just binge on shit. Like I'll buy like packets of chips and stuff, and it's not, if you put shit into your body, you just get shit out. So, it's the difference. There could be that difference of just like one. You go to the gym, you go for a run or whatever, and then all of a sudden, it just starts the domino effect of like getting your shit together. You 1 minute you're lifting weights and doing a fucking assault bike, the next minute you're rearranging your fucking pantry and cleaning the towels in your bathroom. Like it's how would I explain? It's like exercise is like the gateway drug to productivity. Like literally you come back from a workout, you're just buzzing, you're fucking feeling great, you're like, oh shit, look at the floor, I might give it a mop, and I'll sit down and I'll fucking reply to these emails or some shit because you've worked out and you feel great. So I think that sort of incident on the weekend has made me go, look, like get your ass, go out and do something. Go for a walk, go for a run, take Luna for a walk, do something. Don't just come home and be a piece of shit. So, that's something, take that, whatever you will. But, it's definitely awesome to, when you do that exercise sort of stuff and all that shit. Yeah, but, it's the gateway to productivity. If you want to clean your fridge, fucking go work out and then clean your fridge. You'll feel better about cleaning your fridge, trust me. Put on some cleaning fucking tunes or some shit. I don't know. Do your thing. Just do it. Sorry, I made myself a long black because I got home a little bit earlier today. Did the click and collect from Woolies, but I got home before 4, so now I can't get my groceries till after 4. So hence why I'm sitting and having a conversation with you guys. Yeah, exactly. It is what it is. Off the serious stuff. I feel fucking great again. I feel really good again. I love this. I'm getting more interactions with guests. I'm really excited to have people on, and I loved, even down to like chatting to my mate Darcy. Like, we've known each other for like a fair few years now, and I still can sit down and even in that conversation, I learned things about him that I had no idea he was interested in or anything like that. So the idea of podcasting for me is just the best. I get to chat to cool people. I get to talk, vent, sometimes play Pokemon. I don't know. It's the best. But I did start listening to Hamish and Andy's podcast. I actually had no idea that Hamish and Andy are back with a podcast. It's really cool. I feel like because they've kind of branched away from radio now. They could be themselves, and they can produce their own shit, and it's really, it shows like when you see their stuff, it's so fucking funny. Like I was driving to work the other day listening to one of their podcasts and I was just crying. I got to work, I just had tears in my eyes. It was so great. But they do a segment on there called like power moves, and it got me thinking, because I don't like copying people, but I had a thought of having thinking about dog power moves, because everyone's got a dog, and dogs have this ability to kind of assert dominance in their house with their owner by doing some sort of thing that just makes you feel like a piece of shit, because you have to clean up after this animal, and this animal is conscious that you have to clean up after it. So it got me thinking about dog power moves, and I saw this the other day. I saw a couple walking, and it was a big muscly dude, tatted up, like, looked like a scary bloke. And his French bulldog, probably called like Boston or some fucking, bullshit name like that. But what's another Frenchy name? I don't know. Winston, something along those lines. Yes, you know those names. And anyway, I was thinking like, as I saw the dog, I was like, man, that dog has so much power, like, over these people. And as I thought that, this dog was in the middle of the fucking footpath. And with Luna, she's very, she's pretty timid. She does her own thing, but she always shits in the garden or on the grass. She always shits in the garden or on the grass. Never on the footpath. This French bulldog just stopped in the middle of the footpath and took like a massive shit on the footpath. And it was on a crowded footpath. And I just watched the dude and the girl, to be honest. They had no choice but to literally just, in the middle of everyone, pick up this dog's shit. And I just thought to myself, that is the ultimate power move. Like, the dog can show that it has complete control over his owners, because he goes, hey, no matter where I shit, you're going to have to pick up my poop. And this dog, like, it just had this face. Once, when old mate had to, put the bag over his hand and do all that shit and get down, and seeing an overly muscly, tattooed, scary bloke pick up a tiny French bulldog's poo on a crowded footpath is just the ultimate power move by the dog. And the dog did not break any sort of eye contact when the guy was picking up the shit. And I just thought, this dog knows. He knows that he's asserting dominance over his owners by saying, hey, I'm going to shit here and you're going to do nothing about it because I own you and you feed me, and whatever I do, you're going to have to do for me. So he just took a shit in the middle of the footpath. And I thought, there's only two types of dogs that take shit on footpath. And if your dog is not one of these dogs, then it's news to me. There are two types of dogs. There is French bulldogs and fucking wiener dogs. They are the only types of dogs that I know that consciously shit on the footpath. I know you dogs know what you're doing. I know it. I know this isn't just a fucking, you're shitting on purpose. I know. So if you're a dog owner of a wiener dog and a French bulldog and it's shitting on the floor, it knows it owns you. You think you own the dog. Nah. That dog owns you. It owns you. Shitting on the footpath, ultimate power move. Ultimate dog power moves. I'm gonna hashtag that. Ultimate dog power moves. But so lucky if Luna shits on the concrete, and I tell you what, I'm probably gonna pick it up because I'm a pussy. And I just let her walk all over me anyway. So, dog power moves. But yeah, it's power moves. Hamish and Andy podcast. Check it out. It's fucking hilarious. On the subject of poo, I can't believe that's how I'm going to go into the next segment. On the subject of poo, like I said, I was at a party the other day, the other weekend. I was at an adult party. It was just nothing crazy, whatever. But I had a moment where the Lord sent me a message. He said, Matsen, it's time to tinkle and you need to go. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go tinkle. Great call, because I don't want to piss my pants, because that would be fucked up at a party, especially when you're not drinking. So I walked to the bathroom and I thought, this is great. There's no line. Beauty. I'm going to sit behind, because it was a house, so there was only one toilet, and everyone's pretty. No one was overly fucking messed up. So I just sat there, and this bloke came out and he goes, sorry, brother, I took a bit longer. And I said, no worries, champion, don't stress. I walked into a fucking gas chamber of smell. It was like probably the worst poo smell I've ever smelled in my life. Like, I literally breathed in. I was like, I'm going to die. That's it. So, I did my business, and I thought, in the back of my head, I thought, fuck, this smell is lingering. Like, it's not going anywhere. I sprayed the spray. Like, he obviously didn't. So he obviously wanted me to bask in the smell of his glorious shit. But I sprayed the spray, and there was nothing I could do. It was like putting a bottle of water on a giant bushfire. Like, it was doing something for a little bit, and then fucked up, gone. And then, of course, I'm thinking like, oh, fuck me. Like, now it still smells like shit. And so I've walked out, and here's where it gets kind of annoying. Because now, and ladies, we all know you guys go to the bathrooms in groups, and that's fair enough. You don't want to be in there by yourself. So there was a group of about 4 girls who went in after me. And what I like to call it, I got caught in the secondhand poo. So the secondhand poo smell, that is where I left the bathroom, obviously not contributing to the smell. And I left, and these girls had walked in after me. Obviously, they didn't know that there was another guy in there before me. But now, obviously, they walk in. It smells like shit. Who do they believe? Oh, they believe that it's me that just dropped the giant bog of all bogs. And now I'm probably the guy, because that's 4 people who now know me as the bog person. And now, unfortunately, I'm known to the party as the guy who stunk out the toilet. And I thought about it. The secondhand poo smell is deadly. It could make or break a very awkward situation, usually with people you don't know. So if you're with a group of people that you know, who cares? You don't care. No one cares. But if you're with people that don't know you, and the first impression they have is that guy just stunk out the toilet, it sucks, man. It sucks. Because now I'm conscious of the fact that these girls are walking around probably like, oh, that's the dude that's shit. And he stinks, man. Don't go near him. He stinks. And I'm like, sick. That's me. I'm the poo person now. But, and I worked out. I was thinking about it. I was like, holy shit, this has happened in lifts. It happens in the lifts. I hate living in an apartment that has lifts. But at the same time, I would much rather be in a lift than with like 5 people I don't know, pretending to be on my phone so no one talks to me, than walking up 9 flights of stairs. But it happened to me again, literally, on Sunday afternoon. I got into the lift, and this guy who was previously getting out of the lift must have just let loose. He just literally said, fuck it, there's no one in this elevator. I'm going to just fart. And I've got in the lift, and I've noticed that it's very smelly, and I'm like, sick. Like, now I'm going to go up the lift, and if anyone comes in the lift, they're going to think it was me that dropped the fart. And of course, because of my luck, I've got great luck. He gets out at the bottom floor. I get in at the bottom floor, and I said, sweet, smells like fart, unreal. We get to level 1 because I'm in the basement. We get to level 1, and of course, there is a hens party going on in one of the levels. So 8 girls all done up, get into the lift, and immediately I get eyes like I was the one that farted. And now if I ever see those people again, I'm the dude that stunk out the lift. And on the flip, that guy who got out of the lift probably wasn't even the farter. He was probably just the one basking in the fart. And now I'm thinking he's the farter. So if that's you, mate, I'm sorry. But I don't know. Maybe it was you. Maybe, who knows? And it's just this circle of like who farted. I can't believe I'm talking about poos and farts for like 18 minutes. This is where the podcast has gone. I'm trying to get people on to talk about legitimate things, and all I've spoken about for the last 13 minutes is poos and farts. I had to do it though. I had to get it out. That's a poo pun. Shut up, Matsen. You're an idiot. Oh man, I think I'm going insane. No, I'm not. Surely everyone thinks about it. I'm just the only idiot that wants to get on camera and talk about it. Yay! Yes! It's me, the hermit, talking about farts. Oh, how good. How good. That actually made me feel a lot better, Screw anyone that says you can't talk about poos and farts. That makes me feel good. Sometimes I guess the hardest thing about being a teacher is the fact that a kid will make like a fart joke or something, and it's genuinely funny, and you can't laugh because you have to be serious. But then you go home and you tell your girlfriend like, oh, this kid spoke about this fart today, and I had to keep a straight face. But in my head, I was crying in laughter. It was hilarious. Yeah, it's funny. Just a child teaching children. Oh, well. I've got to stop mentioning that I'm a teacher. I love it too much. It's the best. I think I mentioned it once a podcast. Anyway, getting away from that. We're almost there. 13 minutes later, I'm talking about farts and stuff, and, hopefully leading in with mental health and then ending with some funny fart stories. You guys will be good. Anyway, this week, guys, Inner City Hermit Podcast is going ham. we've been doing like triple uploads a week now. It's actually been really good. By we, I mean me. But I've done a lot of editing, and I'm learning so much. I'm actually really like loving how much I'm learning. It's great. These are skills that I'm probably going to use. As I spoke on the podcast with Darcy, like, have an open mind about when are you going to learn these skills. You know, I might not be editing videos tomorrow for my job, but 5 years down the track, it could be. I might not be recording sounds tomorrow, but I tell you what, 5 years down the track, it's a skill. Always keep an open mind. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the interview I did do. I hate calling it an interview. It's more of a conversation. But, you know, if you're starting a business or something, I hope you got something out of it. We do have a couple cool guests coming up that I'm really excited for because, to be honest, they're people that, for me, I really admire. So having them on is really cool for me. So I'm excited. And I think if I'm excited to talk to them, hopefully you guys are going to get a lot out of it as well. So you know how it is, guys. It's the Inner City Hermit signing off. Back to my first point. You're not alone. It happens to the best of us. Mental health is a weird thing, man. It's weird, you know. I think big thing is check on your strong friends, you know. They probably don't reach out as much because they care so much about everyone else. So check on each other. It's not weird if you're a bloke and you're at the pub. It's not weird to ask how your mate is mentally. Like, it's not weird, and, you know, you're not a pussy. Just do it, because you don't know. That conversation could be the difference between him going home and feeling terrible and him going home and feeling great about himself. So, you know, as I always say, guys, if you're having a shit day, it's going to be better tomorrow. If you're having if you had a shit day yesterday and you're on your way to work, you know, today's going to be so much better. You know it is. It always is. So be nice to everyone. Give your mum a call. I gave my mum a call and it was the best thing ever. So call your mum, call your dad, call someone close to you, call your grandparents. They probably really want you to check in on them. But anyway, have a great week, guys. And, you know, as I always say, just be good humans and peace out. And, you know, don't get caught in the secondhand fart. We're not going to end with that. Peace out, guys. Have a great week. Well, I got lost in you, and now I don't know